Alright, what is up, y'all? We are here for PBL Week 2, going up against Thumbbrother2 and his Salt Lake City Swamperts. He is a newcomer to the league this season. I've never had the opportunity, the pleasure, to play this man before. But he has a pretty damn scary team. Honestly, I like his team. It looks like something I would fuck with pretty heavy. Can't even lie. Can't even lie. You can see his team on the screen. And if you remember my team, I have the I have the deadly trio of Coco, Mega Scizor, and Kyurem Black, and then just a bunch of shit to support it, basically. So, looking at his team, he has a few things that are super threatening to my team. One of them being Arcanine. Arcanine obviously can be either offensive or defensive, and both of them kind of fuck my team up a little bit. So, like a Life Orb or a Banded set, honestly, kind of just fucking runs through me, and then something like a bulky defensive pivot, whatever the fuck that is. I'm drinking a PBL, and I said, yeah, okay. So, but yeah, defensive pivot around stuff like Mega Scizor and Kyurem Black could also be helpful with that Intimidate, having stuff like Morning Sun, Will-O-Wisp, all that good shit. If you look at my team, I don't enjoy switching into Willow that well, and stuff that does want to switch into Willow doesn't want to take a Crunch or a Bulldoze or a fucking Wild Charge. Especially a terrain-boosted Wild Charge. So, basically, if you also look at his team, you will see that his ground type is Zygarde 10%. Now, there's nothing wrong with Zygarde 10%, but as a ground type, it does not give the proper resistance to Coco that it needs, obviously, because it is times 4 weak to ice, and it dies to a Dazzling Gleam from Mr. Coco here. So, Nosebeers with the Electrium Z just fucking wrecks his shit, man. And I have it to where the EVs are a little funky, I know. Well, I guess it's not funky, but with 116 EVs, basically I just took what I did need from speed and put that in attack, and that just so happened to be enough to outcode the Mega Diancie with Iron Head. Mega Diancie is a fucking problem. I don't expect it to be rock polished because I do have a Mega Scizor, but I could easily see like Stealth Rocks, Dual Stab HP Fire, something like that could easily put in work versus my team. Something like Earth Power is also an option if you just wanted to go all out attacking or something like that. I don't know, man. This man's got options. Actually, Earth Power kind of does make more sense, yeah. So, Mega Diancie is a fucking threat. So you're gonna notice that there's a lot of steel coverage on this fucking team. So, Dazzling Gleam, U-Turn, Thunderbolt, Iron Head. This thing just fucking runs through his team, man. It hits almost all of his team super effectively, and things that it doesn't hit super effectively, it can fucking just nuke with the Electrium Z. So, Tapu Koko, obviously fast-ass Pokemon. I only needed speed for Zygarde 10, and then on the rest of that, it's all just like into attack. So, Tapu Koko is looking great this game. I'm really excited to use this, honestly. First week, we brought Shuka instead of Electrium, which was a mistake. So, Electrium Koko is about to come through. Next, we have a sub Babiri 3 attacks, Kyurem Black with a naive nature. And what's funny about that is, even with a minus SPDF nature, Melodic still cannot break our sub. If it runs Ice Beam, I think it has a chance, but something along the lines of like Scald, Recover, Toxic, and then maybe Dragon Tail or something like that is probably way more likely. So, Kyurem Black here, obviously it's going to be in that electric terrain. That's going to boost up that Fusion Volt's power fucking just insanely. So, and it's funny, looking at its stats, even when fully invested in special attack, its physical attack is still higher if you don't have a hindering nature. It might even be with a hindering. We just make this boy timid real quick. No, it's by 1 fucking point. Are you kidding me? This thing is too strong. So, we have basically the subset here because Melodic is kind of necessary to wall a bunch of my team. Like, it basically stops him from being swept by Bullet Punch. Arcanine is there, obviously, but I have a bunch of stuff to deal with Arcanine. And, like, I don't on my team, but I do with these specific 6, because, you know, it's Draft League, it's catered to all that stuff. So, sub means I can get up a free sub in front of the Melodic, also in front of the Rotom Cut if it's not running, like, HP Fighting or something silly. But basically, I want to have that sub up because that means that Mind Conf can't come in here and just fucking high jump kick me. That's also looking like a pretty good mon versus me also, like a Scarf set or just a bulky, not bulky, but like a Life Orb Regenerator set. both of those are solid options versus me. So I wanted to make sure that I can not get revenged. And yeah, so Ice Beam Fusion Bolt just does great damage versus this team. Everything that wants to take an Ice Beam does not want to take fucking Earth Power or Fusion Bolt, especially terrain boosted. And it's looking like it's going to be a lot of fun. We got the Berry there just so if he does come in and want to, like with Metagross, and try to break my sub, or like you say he breaks my sub and then I kill whatever broke the sub and he comes in with Metagross, I'm not forced out by that. So I will outspeed him unless he's Scarf. If he is Scarf, I live with the Berry, but I would assume he would want to go for Bullet Punch. That's not going to do jack diddly dick. Earth Power is going to blow that thing away unless he's like super especially defensive or like Assault Vest or something. But since seeing as how he's drafted the Psychium Z, I kind of predict either that or Hoopa to have that Z move on it, you know, because it fucking makes sense. But yeah, that's Kyurem. He's big, he's black, he's here. Then, making its debut for the Dallas Stormies in PBL, we have Necrozma. Now, I haven't ever used this mon myself, but Austin has used this on every fucking draft team he's ever had, and after helping him build so many times, I feel like I've, you know, used this countless fucking times. So, this is his fucking favorite set to run. Weakness Policy, Autotomize. I think I actually run Rock Polish in the game because I was too lazy to change it. But Photon, Signal Beam, Earth Power, if we get a boost, then the game might just be over. So he has that Mind Shell we talked about is a huge threat. He has Hoopa, which is a huge threat. He has stuff like Frostlass, which isn't necessarily a huge threat, but it is a mon that could totally come because it can taunt lead and beat my Smeargle. And then stuff like Crunch on Arcanine is a possibility, although that is a bit of a stretch. And then just like U-turns from stuff. So there's a lot of opportunities for Necrozma to get hit by a relatively weak, super effective attack, eat it up with almost max HP and Prism Armor, pop the policy, and then Autotomize up and just start fucking shit up. So that's what hopefully is going to happen. I was building for this team and I didn't have Necrozma on there yet, but I think I had the big three and then Scolipede here. And I was like, you know what? This team kind of fucking loses to like a Scarf Mind Chow, so I wanted to make sure we have something that can capitalize on that. If he is scarfed into high jump kick, obviously I force it out and I can just start, you know, attacking stuff. And if he's locked into knockoff for U-turn, if I can play it right, we should get a boost and only take about half damage, be out of range of the banded extreme speed / bullet punch, and be able to pick up multiple kills with this guy. So 5-head the Necrozma is looking like it's going to put in some work. I'm excited to use it. We got Signal Beam for the Hoopa, Earth Power for the Steel types and Fire type, and then Photon Geyser just for fucking damage. I want to see this move's in-game thing. I've seen it, but I want to be the one to use it in-game. You know, it looks cool. It looks like you're fucking... Looks like you got Future Trunks' fucking Spirit Bomb sword and you're about to slice someone from the dick up. That's a good scene. Anyways, next we have Sizzy 6 here, the Mega Scizor, with kind of a similar spread to last week. It's my favorite set, honestly. U-turn, Roost, Bullet Punch, Swords Dance, that's just a fucking solid set. It does everything you need it to do. It pivots around early game, and it sweeps late game. It's just a great fucking Pokemon. And with 100 speed, I believe that gave us speed for, what was it here? I think that was no speed Rotom? Yeah, that gives us speed for no speed Rotom. Actually, it gives us speed for 4 speed Rotom, so that's there just in case. Also, that guaranteed outspeeds the Melodic if he's not running any investment. Melodic hits 101, so even if he does want to stick out like the last 4 or 8 in there, we have plenty to go past that. And Rotom Cut is a decent defensive pivot for me because it's one of the very few things he has that wants to take the Coco's Thunderbolt. So something like a Spadef Pain Split, Rotom could pretty easily be an option. And we got the U-turn. U-turn just kills that guy since we're adamant. So even if he's like super defensive, that thing just fucking dies. So, Sizzy 6, nothing really special here. It's just the set that I know and I love, and that's kind of what this team has all been about, is just using stuff that I'm comfortable with and that I enjoy using, and it's been a lot of fun. So, 5th here we have our designated lead, Ricky Bobby the Scolipede. This is another mon I've always wanted to use, and now it's finally on the team. It has a weird set. There's no stab. What the fuck, Shaden? Protect, Spike, Smart Strike, Endeavor. This basically guarantees me at least a Spike at the beginning of the game. In an ideal world, it gets me 2 spikes and something down to 1%, or it gets me a spike, something down to 1%, and then it locks the Zygarde into extreme speed or something like that. So with Protect, we can scout out shit like that. Spikes, obviously, I love fucking hazard stacks. So we be stacking. Smart Strike is so if he wants to lead Mega Diancie and Magic Bounce. So because like if you see a Claydol, a Necrozma, and a fucking Scolipede, I think it's safe to assume there's gonna be a good amount of hazards coming on this team. So if he does want to just Mega Evolve right off the bat, even if he wants to just go for a Protect or something like that, and just kind of scout me out, I have the Smart Strike. It does OHKO unless he is unless he's like max HP. He needs good defensive investment, or he just slaps max HP. Like if he's running Rock Polish and just says fuck it, what's a Bullet Punch, then we do kill with the Smart Strike. Shoutouts to Gen 7 for giving us Gen 7.5 really. And then last but not least, we originally were bringing Tangela. As soon as I saw this man had Zygarde 10, I was like, boom, Tangela weak, let's fucking get this boy in here. And then I realized how weak my team was to Arcanine, and I wasn't about it anymore, because I would have literally 3 fucking things weak to fire, as well as a Necrozma that didn't really want to deal with it, a Kyurem Black that would speed tie with it, and a Tapu Koko that I can only kill it with my Z move. And I didn't want to blow my load early, you know? That was the whole point of having Iron Head on Coco, was so I didn't have to blow my Z load on Mega Diancie. So we opted to go for Draydol here, the Claydol. Super clever name, I know. But we got Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Earthquake, Ice Beam. This thing has really fucking good coverage. Honestly, I fuck with Claydol heavy after this, man. But it's pretty defensive. It's another one of those mons where its defenses are really good, but its attack, it's a crest, man. Its defenses are good, HP isn't great, but its offenses are just fucking balls. So, but with them being even, it does allow me to run mixed, so that way I can have Earthquake to hit the Metagross, because if he's AV, that's really the only reason that Necrozma wouldn't be able to kill it. So if he is AV, I want to be able to hit it on the physical side and be able to kill that motherfucker and not have to worry about all that bullshit. Ice Beam 2, good for the fucking Metagross, not the Metagross, for the Zygarde, the Rotom, stuff like that. It's just, it's if you've ever had to switch into a Mamoswine, fucking ground and ice coverage is pretty good. And yeah, I just want, honestly, it gave me rocks too, so that way if I can get up rocks and spikes, that's going to hurt his team a lot. But other than that, it's a pretty unimpressive mon. I know I just was talking it up, but let's be real here. Hype aside, it's a Claydol. It's going to do just Claydol things, and if you play it right, it'll do something for you. So that's a team builder. It has been 12 minutes. What the fuck am I doing with my life? Let's jump into the battle. So here we are with the battle, and as you can see, there is no Arcanine on the screen, which is fantastic for me, but he did mention that I think he was running low on time, so he just had to bring like the same team from last week or something like that, or just minimal changes. I don't know. But we lead off with Scolipede like we talked about in the team builder, and he's going to lead off with Ip-Man, the Mind Shout. So I need to see if this thing is scarfed. I need to scout for the fake out. I need to see what's going on with this fucking bullshit. So we go for the Protect. If he has sub, good on him. But he just goes for the Stone Edge, and going for a move like Stone Edge kind of makes me think he's going to be Scarf, but there's really no telling. So we are obviously still going to outspeed. We go for the spikes, and we'll see if he can hit Stone Edge again. He does connect, and he actually doesn't even take us down to our sash. We live at fucking 3. Ricky Bobby's a champion, and so I'm faced with a decision whether or not to get another spike or go for Endeavor. As you can see, we do just go for the Endeavor, and I was like, who hit Stone Edge twice? You know, I never hit a Stone Edge 2 times in a row in my life, ever. But Scolipede does go down. We get good damage off on Mind Shout, and we get a spike up. So we go into Sizzy 6 here. I'm just going to click the safe Bullet Punch, get my Mega Evolution off, get that nice added bulk in there, and he's just going to make the smart play and go right into Rotom, knowing that there's probably not much of a chance I would go for the U-turn there, because if he was Bluff God and he just clicked Stone Edge that many times, then I could potentially lose my Scizor to HP Fire. So we just go for the safe Bullet Punch, do a not very good amount to the Rotom-Mow, which is unfortunate, but it's Rotom-Mow. It's bulky and it resists the Bullet Punch. So we get some chip on it though. So I'm gonna switch on out. I don't have a Will-O-Wisp switch in, so I just go into a special attacker and hope for the best, basically. But yeah, we go into Necrozma here, and we actually avoid the Willow, which doesn't really matter that much, but it just sucks. No, chip is chip, you know. So I'm just gonna go right for the Photon Geyser, get some chip like we just talked about off on this guy. That's such a cool move, and he's just gonna go for the Volt Switch, do a decent little chunk to us, kinda. And he's actually going to go into his Mind Shout. So he probably couldn't OHKO me with anything from that range, and he needed to get some chip, but I'm weakness policy autotomized. We talked about this whole situation. He's going to go for the U-turn, hit me with that super effective move, take me down to about half, which is out of E-speed / bullet punch range. I'm going to get my full fucking weakness policy boost, and he's going to switch out and go into, hopefully, non-AV Metagross. If this isn't AV Metagross, I think this might just be GG. So he's going to take the spike, and we're going to get our nice clean rock polish up. Yeah, we weren't autotomized. It already had rock polish on there. So I can just go for the earth power. Like I said, he needs to be max HP and have an assault vest to live, and he has exactly that amount of investment. And we'll just I think he's just max attack HP with an assault vest. So Mash is going to take us out, and he does get a fucking attack raise, which is unfortunate because that makes switching into this a little harder. And I basically just have to go to Scizor here. So I can click bullet punch. He does still have that fucking Rotom. So I decided to put my balls on the table, and I was like, fuck it. He can do like half to me with Earthquake or Superpower. He can do a good fucking chunk to Scizor. But I decided to go right for the U-turn. We do catch the Rotom coming in, and we take out that thing, which was clean. Rotom is one of 2 things on his team that he has that can potentially prevent him from being swept with BP in the end. You know, if I get up an SD, BP kind of can clean up to this man's team. So basically, I don't want Melodic to come in and just be annoying, so I just decided to go into Coco to see what his response to this is going to be. So he goes into the Zygarde, and when I was looking at the team matchup, I was a little bit scared of Scarf Zydoge. It could catch me off guard potentially, and I wasn't about to risk that shit. I know he's probably just baiting me over here, but I ain't about that life. So we're going to go into Draydol. We're going to scout the damage. We're going to see what's going on with the things and the stuff. And he does just under half, which is banded damage. I guess he could be like fucking soft sand adamant and again be bluff god, but we'll see. I don't know. I doubt it. I predict him to switch out into his Melodic, however, though. This feels like a good turn to make a fucking nice clean double switch. And we're going to double right on out to fucking the biggest, blackest Kyurem on this side of the Mississippi. And the situation we did talk about in the team builder, he's Flame Orb, that doesn't matter because of Terravolt. This situation gives me a free sub. So how we are down in Pokemon, this is the situation that I've been wanting all fucking game. So he's going to take some chip. He took a spike and I think burn damage? Yeah. No, he didn't take it the first time. So Fusion Bolt is going to fucking destroy this Melodic. I don't believe it had a chance to kill. I think he was just out of range, but yeah, he can't, unless he has Ice Beam, I don't think he can break my sub. So he's going to go for the Scald. That does not break the sub, obviously. And young Kyurem here is sitting pretty behind this sub, not forced out by his Steel or his Fairy type. The electricity is going to disappear from the field, but that doesn't matter because we've already Fusion Bolted what we needed to Fusion Bolt, you know? We just go for the Ice Beam, just in case he wanted to fucking save this as death fodder for whatever. Ice Beam killed, so it didn't matter what I clicked. Ice Beam takes out the Soccer. Kyurem Black picks up a kill. Behind the sub, Snug AF. So he's going to go into fucking Ip Man again, and whatever he clicks can break my sub. He goes for the knockoff, and honestly, since he had already done some damage to the sub with Scald, I kind of thought he would go for the U-turn and go into his Diancie, predicting the Ice Beam. So I went for the Earth Power, just in case he wanted to fucking play some shenanigans around and kind of fucking, yeah, I'm fucking watching you, motherfucker. But he goes into Chrome, is going to take the Spike. And normally I would be forced out here, but as you know, I am Babiri Berry. I give no fucks about this Gen 3 X-Face ass Moth, and Earth Power does just take it out. I could Ice Beam there as well, but Earth Power actually hits more on his team at this point. So he's going to go into Kimberly, which is the Mega Diancie, and basically as long as Mega Diancie does not set up a sub, I win with Scizor at this point. So rather than get caught with an HP Fire or something like that going into the fucking hard Scizor, or you know, risking a crit or something, I don't know, I just figured I could get a clean 3-0 and it would be fine. So rather than risking differential, I just stay in and click Earth Power so he didn't get the sub up. He does get the Diamond Storm defense boost though. That's a little scary. But then I realized upon calcing that as long as he's taking that spike damage, he's still in range of Bullet Punch from Adamant fucking Technician boosted Scizor. So it was like a 97% chance to kill or something if he had just a little bit of HP. Like if he just had enough HP for like Kyurem and stuff like that, then enough speed to leave him left over from Kyurem and stuff. So He can go back into Zygarde. He is out of range of Bullet Punch, which is kind of weird to think about, because Zydog is a little frail pupper, and Bullet Punch is strong for Mega Scizor, but it just does not do 88% for, what would that be, 76%? It does not do 76% to that man. So he's going to do under half to me. Even a crit wouldn't have killed, which is fantastic. And Bullet Punch is going to take off the Zydosh, and we're going to pick up a clean 3-0 victory versus Thumbbrother2. And the Dallas Stormers are looking good this season, man. I'm excited. This has been some good shit. I love the PBL. Shoutouts to Thumbbrother though. That was a fucking fun ass game. Like I said, I don't think he brought like a super hard prep team. He said he was short on time and whatnot. So hopefully we get to play him again in playoffs, and we can see what other kind of shit we can whip up, and that'll be fun. But yeah, so definitely check him out. His link will be in the description. Go ahead and I know he's a good fucking player, so I want to check out his perspective of this as well. So definitely do that. Go ahead and go ahead and subscribe. Do all that bullshit to both me and you boy Brennan here, and yeah, that should do it. Bye forever.